Senator Elizabeth Warren put on a masterclass yesterday when speaking to nominee to be IRS Commissioner Billy Long. She went directly at an important IRS issue, because we know that when the number one currency is loyalty and Trump's the guy nominating you, the expectation is you're going to do Trump's bidding. And Trump's bidding right now is strip organizations I don't like, Harvard University specifically, strip organizations I don't like of their nonprofit status. Elizabeth Warren goes right at Billy Long and wants to know, does Billy Long think it would be legal to do that? She's prepared. He's determined not to answer. Listen to this.
The statute, you've had 3 weeks to talk to the lawyers about it. So let's jump in. Mr. Long, is it illegal for the president to direct the IRS to revoke a taxpayer's nonprofit status?
In the first place, he wouldn't do that. He's not going to come to me.
I've got to stop here. Okay. I'm not going to interrupt again during this clip, but I have to stop there. Question: is this legal? Answer: Trump would never do that thing. We talked about John Yoo this week. Back when John Yoo was a lawyer for George W. Bush, justifying the use of so-called enhanced interrogation techniques, we know them as torture. There's a famous exchange that John Yoo has where he is asked during a similar hearing, if the president believed that it made sense and thought it was correct to do so, could the president order a detainee to be buried alive? And John Yoo's answer was, I know the president. The president would never do that. This is a classic non-answer. But Elizabeth Warren pushes through, and it only gets worse.
Mr. Long, please don't start down this.
Are we on section 7212 or 7217?
I'm at 26 U.S.C. 7217. Do I need to read it to you?
Prohibits any member of the executive branch to request the IRS to conduct or terminate an audit on a taxpayer.
All righty. So is it illegal?
I'm going to follow the law. And if that's the law, yes.
Okay, but I want you.
The problem is the if, because even when the law is clear, people deserve due process. You've got to follow legal judicial orders. They reinterpret the law, and they come up with novel interpretations or better non-interpretations. So it's really not as simple as I'm going to follow the law. And Elizabeth Warren knows that, and she tries to push through.
It is the law.
Yeah.
So I just want to be clear. Is it illegal for the president of the United States to instruct the IRS to remove a taxpayer's nonprofit status?
Prohibits any member of the executive branch to request the IRS to conduct or terminate an audit of the taxpayer.
Is that a yes?
I'd have to go to the lawyers at the IRS to tell me.
No, come on. You just read it.
I know, but I don't see the instance that you're speaking about in there. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't see.
Look, it says it shall be unlawful for any applicable person, which in this case includes the president, to request directly or indirectly any officer or employee of the Internal Revenue Service to conduct or terminate an audit or other investigation of any particular taxpayer. Is it illegal for the president to instruct the IRS to remove nonprofit status from a taxpayer?
I'm not going to have the answer that you need, and I apologize, but like I said.
Why are you not having the answer? You've had 3 weeks to consult with lawyers. The statute is about as clear as plain English.
Well, if I say I'm going to follow the law, why would you need to ask me the question?
Well, because I want to make sure that you understand what the law says. If you think follow the law means you just get to make it up on the spot.
Of course, that's what they believe.
Then, Bud, you don't get to be the IRS commissioner.
I said I would.
The point here is to follow the law as it is written. And I'm asking what I think is a pretty simple question. Can the president of the United States legally tell the IRS to change someone's nonprofit status?
I'm not able to answer.
You can't read these words and tell.
He's not going to answer, Senator Warren. He's not going to answer. And she continued. And she tried to break it down into its component parts. Let's go word by word. We were one step from going letter by letter. What is the meaning of is? And you're just not going to get it from him.
What does it mean to say that a person, an applicable person here, that's the president, right?
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Cannot directly or indirectly, right, tell any officer or employee, that would be you, of the Internal Revenue Service to conduct or terminate an audit or other investigation of any particular taxpayer. What part do you not understand here?
It seems to be a non.
He's shaking now. He's shaking.
Profit. I don't see exactly what it refers to.
Any taxpayer to start an investigation of any taxpayer.
If it's illegal, I'm not going to allow it to happen in my IRS.
Is it illegal? That's
Me
the
and you
question.
will be friends then. I want to be your friend anyway, but
I'm going to be my friend.
we will be on the same page. I'm going to follow the law, and if that's point blank the law.
What do you understand the law to be saying about the president telling the IRS in his dealings with any particular taxpayer? What do you understand this law to be saying?
I think it sounds like it's saying what you're saying, but I don't. I've got a little bit of the
Certainly not going to commit to it here.
section here, and I looked at it. I talked to an attorney that used to be at the IRS and now going to maybe be back at the IRS, and I'm sorry if I don't have the answer.
What, you mean the lawyers told you they couldn't understand this?
The what?
The lawyers told you they couldn't understand this?
I didn't say that.
Well, then tell me, what part do you not understand? It says no person, and you said that's the president, that includes.
We can go, she goes over it again. I won't subject you to it. But by the way, this image here of this Billy Long guy and the two gentlemen sitting behind him, when you say old boy network, it's hard. I think this is what ChatGPT would give you if you said, give me a picture of what an old boy network looks like. You're not going to get the answer. And Senator Warren's conclusion that this guy shouldn't be within 1,000 miles of the directorship of the IRS is absolutely and completely correct. The issue is not, can they understand the words? They can understand the words. The issue is that they don't think that it applies to them. And so when they sort of fall back on this, whatever the law is, I'm going to follow it. We know that that's not the way that these people operate. We've got a great bonus show for you today. We now have sources contradicting each other about the story that Qatar offered the plane as a gift to Trump. There's now a different story, and it's an important one, which we will talk about on the bonus show. The Justice Department has also opened an investigation into Andrew Cuomo. Andrew Cuomo is running for mayor of New York again. And there is the belief, the concern, that this is all meant to hurt Andrew Cuomo in so running. And finally, on today's bonus show, we will talk about what else are we talking about? I guess it might just be that. I don't even know. It's a great bonus show. Let me put it that way. You can sign up at joinpacman.com. There are so many free ways to support the work we do. Subscribe on YouTube, subscribe to the newsletter, share our content on social media. For those who have just a few bucks a month to do a little extra, I invite you. Go to joinpacman.com, get a membership. You'll get instant access to the bonus show. You'll get daily commercial-free audio and video feeds of the show, and so much more. We'll see you then, and I'll be back here tomorrow. After researching, writing, refining, The Echo Machine, my book, is finally out. This is not just a book about how American politics got so broken. It's also about what's happening right now and what we can still do to stop things from getting worse. Trump's been back in power. The results have been even more catastrophic than many feared, with targeting of political opponents and gutting democratic institutions, laying the groundwork to even further consolidate power. But the thing is that none of this is inevitable. The same forces that brought us here can be countered if we understand how they work and what to do about them. And that's what the Echo Machine is all about. Some say that without corporate media backing, books like this can't succeed. I think we can prove them wrong. You can get the Echo Machine right now at davidpakman.com/echo on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Audible, Kindle, or by calling any local bookstore and asking them to order it. This book is more important than ever. If you care about what happens next, and I do, check out The Echo Machine today at davidpakman.com/echo.